What is going on, guys? We are back on another video today on Madden 20, and we are doing another rebuild, this time of the Chicago Bears. I feel like it's been a while since we rebuilt the Bears, but they actually have a very interesting team coming into next season. They are, I feel like, lacking a decent bit, and they, of course, do have less draft picks. However, a new QB change, most likely, because a QB battle between Mitchell Trubisky and Nick Foles. If we're talking about coming in, you got, let's say, True was brand new, Nick Foles was brand new. We all pretty much expect Nick Foles to win this, but there is a chance they might go with the loyalty because, you know, they've been working with Trubisky, and it's like, do you really want to throw that away? Probably, right? Of course, Trey Burton was released. However, we aren't going to do that yet because we do have to play this first season first, and then we do have to release him. And then also, we do have new player Robert Quinn, which was a bit of a shocker to me. It's kind of crazy. What do they pay him, like 10 mil per year? Which is very interesting. There are definitely some needs on this team. You know, this team wasn't, isn't the superpower we once thought they were for that one season. But it's also not, hasn't fallen off completely just yet. It's just those draft picks. That's what we're worried about. We're also worried about you guys not liking and subscribing. Yay. But I will have some more. Oh, yeah, I forgot Jimmy Graham as well, which was another kind of head shaker. Head shaker. But, yeah, we'll have to put a real fullback there. Sorry, Demetrius. Demetrius, right? Yeah. But, yeah, I'll have a little bit more information on the Flyers offseason stream. We do have the Pro Bowl for the Flyers tomorrow, so if you're interested in that, take a look at that. And maybe I'll just mention it tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure when I want to do it. Probably Tuesday, though. So look in that community tab. Should see something about the off-season stream on Tuesday. All right, here we are going to the playoffs, which we obviously know did not happen. Do we want to show... You know what? We're not going to show the stats from the first season because technically we're not even supposed to see that stuff. We're just going to see if we got any dev-ups. Nick Foles, I believe, went to star, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look. Did he? Star dev for Nick Foles. Did David Montgomery also go to star? He didn't. He was already star. Okay, so why... Interesting stuff. Anthony Miller, I believe, is now back to star, which is pretty nice. Okay, so we actually got some decent dev ups here. No one else on offense. Defensively, I don't think so. No, I'm almost certain we didn't get one on defense. But that's fine. Mr. Roberson... 78 overall. He actually could be a decent number 2 cornerback. I think he will stay. I mean, he definitely will stay there, but will we look for someone new in free agency? That's the question. I tried to give Danny Trevathan the contract that they signed him in real life, but he wasn't having it, which is a steal for him. A 79 overall, 3-year, 23 mil. We're going to have to get him in free agency, which should not be much of a challenge. This team does not have a lot of money, but... we're going to try to get him back if we can. Did they really release Trey Burton? How the heck? They're not even saving any money. Yeah, the Bears are not being managed well right now. They are not. They're releasing... I don't know if this... I don't know if the penalty's all right, is real or not, but I would imagine probably... But we're about to release Trey Burton for a savings of $700K. That's it? That is... what's the point? What's the point? We might be able to release Cordero Patterson, but I don't know if they're going to. Is it just all the contracts that they've signed? Is that why they're so broke? I mean, I imagine that's probably how that goes, but yeah, so most of the money is in bonuses, isn't it? Damn, son. Trubisky, that's going to be an interesting one for us. Nick Foles, I would assume, is probably making more than that in real life. Is he? I don't even know. Gotta be. Well, to be fair, they took the Jags probably took most of the signing bonus, but yeah, where's the money? Bears spent a lot of money on these players. I'll tell you what. So we had to pay Danny a little bit more than he signed for in real life, but at least we got the contract done. Try to keep this thing as realistic as possible. Even though I hated that move, there's several moves I hate on this team, so it is what it is. I don't freaking think so, pal. See ya later. More than likely, right? We also got a fullback, which is nice. And that's pretty much all we can afford. Going to take a look at who is still there for us. Mekhi Becton apparently is still there. We have 3 players here that we want to at least get one of. Either Ayuk, Trey Adams, or Calvin. So we're going to keep moving out until we lose one. And, well, maybe lose 2. And then we're going to trade up. Oh, God. Okay, Alberto, fair enough. All right, fair enough. Keep moving. As long as one of them is there. All right, so we got the wide receiver probably, which is the worst of the bunch for what I wanted. But that's fine. We'll take what we can get. We gave him one of our backup tight ends, a 4th round next year, and 43 to move up 4 spots. I think a 4th round is definitely fair because 4 spots this high is even then it's still very. Oof. Some of these names we could still see Swift. I doubt it. We definitely would see Jonathan Taylor, even though it's spelled wrong. J.K. Dobbins, Isaiah Wilson. There are some decent linemen still left. This team, I'm trying to think of is Ayuk that big of a need? It kind of is. I mean, this team has Bobby Massey on a contract for quite a while, so we're just going to go Brandon Ayuk now. 21 years old, 71 overall. I can't remember if we made him star or superstar, but obviously he's at least hidden. Hold A to reorder, hold A to suckle these knuckles. I don't even know. Let's take a look if our tight end is still there. He is. And for people that have been commenting like, oh, why didn't you take Jordan Love in like the 3rd round? He's still there. We're making, just because the draft class doesn't always take the players where they're projected. Like Jordan Love is a 1st rounder. We have Mims as a 1st rounder. We have a bunch of guys. Mekhi Becton as a 1st rounder. Just because they don't all get taken there doesn't mean we're going to take them because they slipped. We're trying to keep this as realistic as possible where we're going to take guys that are supposed to be there or may still be there. This team could use a tight end. Tight end's not super hard to find in free agency, but this team isn't that loaded in the cash department. The problem is we don't have a lot of draft picks left after this, so this pick needs to be pretty decent. Do we trade down to try to grab Charles as a guard? Ooh, he is very good. We can grab a quarterback like Hurts or Sam Ehlinger and Charles, whereas I don't think we're going to get either of them if we take Jared Pinkney. Tight end, though, huh? Let's trade down. So we take 87, 115, and 119 off the Patriots for 19, and they end up getting a really good corner who I don't think is actually in this class, ironically. Once again, if you guys have any names that you see that aren't supposed to be there, let me know. I'll fix it. I'm not super draft savvy this year, so, I mean, like, Denzel Mims, T. Higgins, you think they're both going to be here? It's just not going to be the case. So Gladney, maybe, probably not though. Of course, the guard's there. Okay, thankfully. Late 4th. AJ Green is a late 4th. Everyone's a late 4th. Guard is probably the biggest need because guys like Jalen Hurts, these two guys are pretty similar. The only difference is speed, which really doesn't matter in sim. Sam is probably a bit more accurate. So I think we're going to go with Charles and solidify another guard position, which, is nice. Really all we need is another tackle, but Massey you can't really replace. Now this one we're going to go to the next round, and we're going to slow sim once again because that is a bit freaking high. I would not feel comfortable losing any of the players here, so I'm actually going to trade them now, which is kind of rough. We trade them a 5th next and a 7th next, which, our next year's draft is going to look pretty rough. And here at 5th pick in the 4th round, we are going to end up taking Mr. AJ Green. Our corners are actually probably set for quite a while, considering Roberson was actually pretty damn solid. He might even stay at number 2, despite the hidden dev on AJ. Going to go with Sam Ehlinger. Got ourselves a backup quarterback for the future. 68 overall, normal development. Not terrible, though. You can see those ratings are actually pretty good. What's his awareness? Why is he such a low overall? He's got nothing under 70, and yet he's a 68 overall. And his speed is a lot faster than I thought it was going to be. I don't know. I felt like if he actually started, we'd probably dominate. We'd actually probably do really well if he started this year. But, of course, Nick Foles, we don't know the numbers, but it was good enough to, dev up. So, probably pretty solid. We might actually trade this pick down because we need as much as we can get for next year. And I don't really see anything worth taking. And by anything, I mean anyone, because these guys are not inanimate objects. Well, by trading a 5th, a 6th, and a 7th this year, we ended up getting a 4th round next year. So kind of, saved the draft a little bit. With this pick, we're just going to go best available fullback, which I think is Jeff Lambert. You have the best grades. I don't know. I probably should have scouted the fullbacks, but I forgot to. Not a great draft, but considering there was no first-round picks on this team, and I believe next year we do actually get the first-round pick back, Not bad. Not bad. You know, we have Brandon Ayuk, new wide receiver that should solidify this wide receiver group for several years to come. Superstar. Okay, we did give him superstar development. I don't know how many superstar developments there are in this class. Sadiq, that name always gets me, dude. I know it's probably super disrespectful, but come on. It's basically Sadiq. You get what it sounds like, right? AJ Green, I actually already know is star development. Look at the NFL, we had some interesting ones. The Lions at number 2, Okuda at number 3. I don't know why, for some reason in this class lately, out of nowhere, Chase Young has been going like 5, 6, 7 even. Seen him even go all the way to 8 before, which is just ridiculous. Obviously, some of the teams are out of order because, you know, those ties, the scores, they do factor in tie-breaking scenarios. So, Tua Tagovailoa out of the 17 to the Steelers. Yeah, that's unlikely. The Packers somehow got Justin Jefferson. That would be an absolute win and a half. We'll find out if we're going to regret not going for the tight end, but I just figured we have Jimmy Graham. We got Jason Kroom from free agency. I know Adam Shaheen is pretty much basically going to be let go, most likely, as he's just not worked out, even though they've been trying to groom him as the starter, even though he probably will start a decent bit of snaps. I don't know if he will. I don't know, he might not, actually. But, yeah, I mean, the tight end would have been nice there, but still. Offensive line not looking bad outside of right tackle. We also do have Jermaine Effetti. I wish we can get rid of Bobby Massey. That is a massive contract. Those are always the teams that are hardest to rebuild. It's teams that signed a tackle that's a low overall to a massive long-term deal. You know, Danny Trevathan's a bad contract for us, but it's not the end of the world. He's still a solid starter. Defensively, though, Robert Quinn, that's a rough one as well. That is harsh. How are these... Man, I don't even want to get into it. Buster, we got to try to get rid of at some point. Yeah, we don't really even have a starting spot for some of these guys. But, of course, we will try to fix this. See if there's any free agents, specifically safety. Maybe there's some in the trade block. But, yeah, I mean, our draft class is going to look a little bit better next season as well, most likely. And I am excited... I'm not really excited at all. I'm not. I lied. All right, here is the roster going into the first true season. That's it. I mean, the offense has changed a little bit. Ayuk at the number 2 spot. I think Anthony Miller back in the slot will be a very good spot for him. Defensively, Stroman in free agency. We've seen him work as a safety before. That's been decent. He has just about 80 zone coverage. Might be exact. Yeah, 79 zone coverage. AJ Green at the 3 spot with Roberson, who kind of came out of nowhere here. 23 years old, 78 overall. Not bad at all. Got some physicality in him. And, yeah, the defense is kind of back on track. Everyone is a star dev except for the 2 DBs, but they're young at least. And some of these other guys are on the older side. Akeem Hicks, 30 years old star. If he doesn't get superstar this season, even if he does, it's not looking super great for him long term. But we are a little bit lower of an overall. Can't lie. It's just sometimes you got to go back to go forward. Sounds like a movie quote from like Back to the Future or something. I don't even know. So profound. I'm just... You can't even keep up with me. Oh, look at this. David Montgomery, superstar development. I will take it. All right, so we have some re-signings, and it looks like Allen Robinson's on the list, and we got enough money for him, so we will take him because I think he's very underrated. I just think he doesn't have a great quarterback situation. Tariq Cohen, a guy that's kind of, he had like a season where he was good and then a lot of fumbles and whatnot. Greg Stroman, at the very least, not a bad backup, so we'll sign him to a 2-year. Maybe we should have held out. Maybe we could have got him for a little bit longer, save money in the long term, but meh. Nick Foles, I do not know the contract situation. Fetty, I guess it's good we replace him, and then, of course, we knew Trubisky needs a contract. We have some other, quality backup players that we might have to sign, but we'll see when we get to that road. We're going to re-sign Pat O'Donnell because he's been pretty damn solid, and 29 years old isn't the craziest of ages. Fetty, kind of a loss, but at the same time, we got Massey for long-term. We got pretty much everyone ready to stay long-term except for him. It's a position we don't really need too much. If we didn't have Massey around, I would actually try to, work with this guy, probably put him at freaking tackle. And you probably save about half. Huge game here. If we win, we are, I believe, in. And we lose, but we're in. But we lost the division. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off on a freestyle on you. How do we lose the 5-10, now 6-10 Titans? That is harsh. Probably would have had a freaking bye week. Damn, son. Postseason. We'd had a bye week, dude. That is harsh, man. We got to play an extra playoff game because of it. Nick Foles, though, he's absolutely crushing it, man. He's going to be a superstar development. 4,600 yards. Lots of touchdowns. David Montgomery, will that be enough to get an X Factor? Probably not, but we don't really need him to be anyways. We might have a couple of guys here. Jimmy Graham going to star. Allen Robinson and Ayuk going to superstar X Factor, which is ridiculous to think. Sack totals, I mean, nothing crazy, right? Leno a little high, but Massey, I mean, 5 sacks. That's pretty good, dude. Roquan, maybe a superstar. Sack totals, Robert Quinn and Mac doing well. This team actually did really well across the board. Better than most sim teams we see. Eddie Pinheiro, I don't know if that's enough to get him a contract, man. Missing 4 out of 17. That percentage isn't looking super hot. Number 1 in offensive yards. That is, if the Bears could ever get to that, that would be, okay, dude. If they could get to that, that would be quite something. Nick Foles still only 5th in the league. What age is Nick Foles? He can't be more than like 31, 32, right? I think we're going to have to re-sign this man, but of course, we are going to have to do what we did last time, which is fix the regression. Because obviously in Madden, if he had that kind of a season, he would probably skyrocket to like an 89 overall. Get our plus 20 to morale on top of it, which is nice. But yeah, this is interesting. I was looking, going ahead into the draft, probably looking to take another QB, but now, I don't know, Nick Foles, 31 years old. I don't want to bump his ratings just yet, but yeah, we definitely need to fix his regression once it comes to that. I think we should make him, let me know what you guys think for the future of this, but I think players that regress, even though they shouldn't have, like Nick Foles basically played like an MVP. He would, like I said, I think he'd be like an 89 overall, 86 to 89 overall by the end of Madden in any year, any given year. The problem is you don't drop the same way as Madden, so I think it would be fair to put him as an 82 overall. I personally think that would be fair. But let me know what you guys think. I think we'll just at least fix the regression for this rebuild, and then going forward, if you guys agree with me, then maybe we'll start doing that. We'll see. But as for now, the Bears, 84 overall to the 82 overall Falcons. Apparently they got Luke Kuechly, which is great news for everyone involved. I don't know. Yeah, keep forgetting about Luke Kuechly and Andrew Luck. All I got to do is fix the damn roster. Just go in, remove those players, and we're set, But Nick Foles played insane throughout the regular season. Both seasons, it would appear. Can he bring this team a title? That would be crazy. 7 all against the Falcons. I guess, to be fair, Falcons and Bears both being in the playoffs together is already crazy enough, so let's calm ourselves. 17 to 10, 17 to 13. Okay, offense kind of struggling a little bit. Defense holds. It's not going to last long, though. What's the situation? Driving down, gets the touchdown. 3 minutes left. The Falcons need a touchdown. They might be able to do it. 3rd and 10. Let's take a look. I want to see this. I'm just going to let the game choose. Who the hell do I use her? I'm going to go Eddie Goldman, I guess. Outside, and it's a great play by Eddie Jackson, and I believe that's going to be enough to send this team on to the divisional round. I mean, there's no, mistakes. Well, they're going to get another chance at it, and I do not believe that they'd get the job done. 24 to 20, a very realistic score for once. Sim seems to do well. Both QBs played really well. Nick Foles out of his mind well, considering it's the postseason. But then again, it's the Foles season. David Montgomery with a decent season. Everything seasonally. Decent game, considering he didn't have a long that was decent. Todd Gurley played really well as well. Ayuk played really well. Jimmy Graham, I don't know why, but sometimes Jimmy Graham can go off. Speaking of going off, Khalil Mack going off. Eddie Pinheiro did not miss, but he wasn't really tested, so still don't have a great decider there. All right, the divisional going against the Cowboys. I'd much rather had it been like the Packers or something. 86 overall. It's not impossible. It's just they have so many damn playmakers over there in Dallas. Once again, another team that kind of underperformed just based on roster talent alone. But they're probably going to be back with old McCarthy. All right, can the Bears kind of shock us, really? I don't expect us to do it this early. 14-0. Nick Foles, man. I'm just saying, Don't knock it till you try it. 24-0. This team is going to the championship round. There's no question about it. 38-0. 45-0. This would be a shocker. That would be insane. Holy crap. That is one of the most dominating playoff performances ever. Like, this almost makes the Super Bowl between the Seahawks and Broncos look like just nothing. Nick Foles went absolutely off. If you guys don't agree that he should at least be an 82 overall, I'm not even gonna look at the comment. I'm just gonna like pretend you didn't even write it. You know, I'm just like, wow, okay, dude. And I guess being blind is a thing. It's a popular trend these days. They had almost 500 punting yards. Oh my, that's quite the number you got there, Dallas. Be a real shame if you ever had to play offense. And I'll show you guys we didn't cheat or anything like that yet. You know what I mean, right? Like, well, Super Bowl, what? But wild card, 1 game, no force. 1 game, no force. Probably going to end up playing. Actually, I didn't see the other team matchups. Packers usually don't make the championship, do they? They did not this time. The Panthers, I mean, that's a winnable matchup for us. Chase Young on the Panthers. Also, Mr. Teddy Bridgewater. Let's see. 2 quarterbacks you wouldn't expect to lead their teams to the Super Bowl, especially this early. But yeah, we have to re-sign Nick Foles. Unfortunately, the guy that keeps asking about the Sam Ehlinger rebuild is going to have to wait longer. We at least drafted him. We're getting closer. You know, he's on the roster now. We're getting there. Snow game, of course, Nick Foles should have a little bit of an advantage. Not much, just a little bit. Yikes. This is not looking good. Okay, you know, huge play there. Okay. I'm so shocked by this team. Whether we win this game or not, I am very impressed with this team. But I would prefer us to win. Oh my god, did they do it? There's no way. Did they miss the 2-point conversion, though? They're driving. I'm shocked. What? 21 points in the first half and not a singular after. Matt Nagy's the GOAT. Come on. Super Bowl win. Let's go. Nick Foles is the man. Like, we knew that once we hit the playoffs, things were going to look good for us. David Montgomery. Who the hell is Sam Montgomery? Oh, the Packers player, I believe. And why did I think of his name randomly? Defensively, nothing really crazy. Hey, Mack and Quinn. There you go, Mr. AJ Green. Eddie Pinheiro, how long was that miss? Oh, my Lord, Eddie. I don't want to get rid of this, magical team in any way or fashion, but yeah, Eddie, it might be time, pal. 4 misses out of 17. It's not, crazy bad. I wish I could look at the Pro Bowl. Let's go to the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at, it's the Jets. I've seen them quite a bit, so this isn't a good one for us, but let's take a look at these dev. Oh my God. Nick freaking Foles with the superstar dev. Absolute beast. Brandon Ayuk, already an X Factor. And of course, Allen Robinson, the guy we signed to a 4-year, $70 million deal. Completely worth it, as he is now an X Factor. One of the best players in the league. What's his wide receiver ranking? Number 7. Got some of the best hands in traffic that I've ever seen. Looking at the defensive side of the ball, Akeem Hicks with a clutch up. That is huge. I don't know what the contract situation is for him, but we've got him for several more years now if we want him. And then no one else, unfortunately. Guys like Stroman would have been huge because he's still pretty damn young. How young is he? 24 now? Wait, is he 24 now or is he about to be 24? Crap. About to be 25, I mean. It could have been worse, right? We got some decent ones on offense. And by decent, I mean amazing. Got to get those upgrades in, and we might make it, man. We might win the Super Bowl already. Let's go on to the Jets. We have the 85 overall team. They have the 82 overall team. You can't tell me you're not surprised by this. I am 100% surprised. I will say, though, even though we did force lose exactly the way the Bears lost in real life, Nick Foles did dev up. So did Anthony Miller. So this team's decent. And this is the one team that could actually win a Super Bowl without any scheme change. I haven't changed their offensive playbooks, their scheme, their defensive playbooks, their scheme. This is all Chicago across the board. So this could be a special one for us. 7-0, not a bad start. 14-0. Second, 17. No way. This is insane. And the division was tough. We won the Super Bowl year 1. What? And in a dominating fashion, 34-7. Nick Foles. Man, the Bears are tricky. They're just, I mean, because we've seen it where Mitchell Trubisky has done really well like one season. It's usually in one season, though, because you do see him in free agency almost every single time. But Trubisky, welcome to free agency, pal. Nick Foles is getting that contract. Probably going to get him a 3-year deal here. This is a shocker. This has got to be one of our most surprising success stories in a rebuild we've ever had, without a doubt. I mean, it's not like it's not deserved. It's just we usually don't get this kind of success. Oh, my Lord, Nick, you are insane. We don't get this kind of success with teams that deserve it. So let alone teams that are like kind of average. It's like, okay, this is one of maybe 10 teams that are very close in overall. You know, you just wouldn't expect it. But I'm happy to see it happen, obviously, for very obvious reasons. But Nick Foles, obviously, shiny head over here, happy. This is obviously the most deserved ring he has, without a doubt. You know, start to finish, MVP level across the board. Like, he really just played like an MVP all the way. There was one game where he was kind of iffy, but he didn't cost us the game. And really, with a defense like this and an improved offense, that's all you have to do for this team. Just don't cost the games. Whether you win them or not, just don't cost them. And of course, defense made it hard on Sam Darnold, who's done really well in playoffs for Sim. And David Montgomery stepped up his game a decent bit. Le'Veon Bell did not play as well. Of course, you're playing against this D-line. Do we keep Tariq Cohen? I don't think he's that important for this team's success. Kroom with 1 yard, basically a 1-yard touchdown. Nice. I mean, anything that could, you know, any score is much appreciated. Sack totals, Khalil Mack he's just that guy. He really is. Picks, Kyle Fuller with 1. Eddie Pinheiro didn't miss one today, and he hit one for 55, so this is a real 50-50 here. I think it kind of comes down to the value. Look at Nick Foles. 3 straight. I wonder how many regular seasons he won. He had to have a couple. No? No, there's 1. Only 1. Really? He played well all the way through. A couple of defensive ones for the team, but obviously very satisfying. Let's see the re-signings. There's a couple of names here that are, you know, kind of debating. So Tariq Cohen does want a 3-year now. Not that it really changes too much from a 4-year deal that we wanted to offer him. I think a 3-year deal as a complimentary back is not bad. 4.3 signing bonus. 3 or $14 million deal, and apparently he doesn't want to sign. Obviously, the tag is going to be ridiculous. Eddie Pinheiro, I think he's done enough. You know, a 2-year deal doesn't absolutely crush us, so 2-year 8.3 is fine, I think. And then, of course, Nick Foles wants a 1-year deal. Sorry, pal. Oh, wait, well, if we extend it, we can afford it. That is quite the contract. Really? Really, Nick? You just won the Super Bowl and you're going to Disney World. How do you feel? You know? Wow. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know Nick Foles did it for us, but I do have the realistic sense in me to say that, oh, look at Mahomes. That's what I want to say. How much would we... 100? We would be able to afford about half of the contract. Sounds about right. Nobody wants Nick Foles, though, so we're still going to offer him the exact same contract. There's got to be something that we can do to save money. There's got to be. There's something here. Is Buster available for releasing? Charles Leno, but I want to keep him because he's a good player. Massey can't do it. Buster, I think that's good enough. We're saving 4, losing 1. Yeah, it's the signing bonuses that are crushing us, which is obviously worse than the salary. Kyle Fuller, in fairness, will be saved. We'll be saving a lot of money with him soon because 20 mil, I highly doubt we're ever going to have to pay him anything close to that. Charles Leno is going to have to go cheaper. We're going to have to restructure this, which sucks because he's worth a lot more than that. Hell, I don't even know if we're going to be able to afford this damn thing. We got Tedrick Thompson, who might actually finally start for us in a rebuild, and Mr. DJ Jones is a backup DT. Apparently, Nick Foles doesn't want to join us. I also wanted to show you guys that we didn't actually cheat because I did kind of like make a joke. Like, not yet, funny. Conference, no cheatings, no cheatings. Suck it, nerds. Not you guys, just whoever's hating. We get Gideon as a backup, and we also get Nick Foles, finally. I can't believe he actually took this long. Usually, if it's going to be stage 3, rest in peace. You're not going to recover from that. I'm sorry. You're probably not going to get him back, right? Roquan Smith, I think it would be cheaper for us to just sign him now. I do agree. He should stick around, but let's say no. If there's any other guys that maybe like a lineman, like James Daniels, perhaps, and that's not the case, I would have tried to re-sign him. But in this class, you got some tight ends. And by some, I mean like 2. If we can get to like 20... do I want to risk 20, though? Let's get to 18 and then see what teams need a tight end around 18. I think trading here with the Broncos is good because you have 3 straight teams that could definitely take a tight end. So the Broncos we need to move up with for at least 12 spots. I think we could definitely do that. Do we have any QBs? We have Sam. I kind of want to keep long term. Oh, yeah, we didn't get Tariq. We don't even have a backup. We need to find a running back ASAP. Wish I could get rid of Massey because I could trade him to him, but to them. This would at least require a 3rd. I'd rather do it next year. I'm just gonna do it next year 2nd. Let's do it next year 2nd and a this year 5th. We don't have a 5th. Next year 5th. I think that's pretty fair. Oh, it is, but it's just barely off. Yeah, I didn't really want to get rid of him, but we did get Gideon, so we don't really need a backup as much. And now I picked 20. We will be taking the tight end. Charles Snowden would be nice too, but we do unfortunately... Oh, there are some other good players here, though. Ooh, there are some decent players. I think tight end is by far the biggest need, though. Hopefully Kyle Pitts has good dev because he looks great. And hidden. I completely forgot my train of thought there, but yeah, he is a very good starting tight end. Even though Jimmy Graham hasn't really regressed super hard. Oh yeah, we have Robert Quinn, and I can't get a pass rusher because of it. That's what I was going to say. I hate having to trade up. It sucks. So is Sam Ehlinger not even a guy in the class this year, and he's going next year? Who cares, dude? I don't care. But now, hey, that's another player to add to the list. If it's true, let me know. All right, so looking at this list, we did lose Ruiz, but everyone else is still there. Neil Farrell would be a decent pick. We're going to go for him. Monty, we've had in the past, and he did really well for us. Aaron Sterling is pretty damn good pick here. You also do have Jamar Watson, who's like a proper... Wait, 23 versus what? 22. You're gaining an extra year. Aaron Sterling. Now we're going to go Aaron Sterling. Hopefully he makes the transition. Hidden. What's that speed? Who freaking knows? Let's just go to the next pick. No way! Who did we lose? We lost Monty as well. Wow. Okay, dude. That kind of sucks. And by kind, I mean that really sucks. But we do have Brady Breeze we can go for. So I think we're going to go for Neil Farrell Jr. as a backup DT. And he is hidden. Okay, maybe that's why his name kind of feels familiar. Maybe we had him before. And then at 14, we're going to take Brady Breeze, who I think is hidden. I cannot confirm, though. Maybe Rambo's still there. Damn it. Can't do it. We can't go Rambo because it's just not a fair trade or fair selection. Let's go Brady Breeze. New starting strong safety, perhaps? He looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, probably. Let's go to the next pick, 6th round. We're going to take a kicker here. 73 overall, Keith Duncan. Very good accuracy. I think Verity was there, but let's get some variety. Am I right? No? If our tight end is superstar or better, that is going to be a huge win. Let's take a look. Mr. Kyle Pitts. Very good player, obviously. Development is... It is superstar. Okay, that is huge. I expected all the tight ends to be star, so that's actually Aaron Sterling is star. I don't know Farrell. Farrell might be superstar. Is he? He's only star. And then I don't remember Breeze either, but I imagine it's star. And it is... Let's change his position to strong safety. I don't know what number looks good for him. 27 maybe? Let's go 30. We are missing a 2nd round pick next year, which kind of sucks, but I think it was worth it because we ended up with a superstar tight end who will be here for potentially a full decade. And he will start over Jimmy, who did play well. It's just he has regressed a little bit. We are going to fix Nick Foles' regression. I don't care what anyone said. 82 overall is completely fair for how he's played. We actually just left him in 81, which, you know, still a bump, obviously. Kyle Pitts at number 1 makes a lot of sense, like we said before. Offensive line, we'd like to get rid of Massey, but at the same time, Massey's played well. Only 5 sacks at right tackle. It's not bad. Outside linebacker, we're going to put Sterling over next to Quinn. And we're going to give Sterling one of the backup spots, so he will get a little bit of play time. Can't deny the man. Sterling goes to a 71 overall. That's not bad, and he will play the practice thing, the focus practice, so we'll be fine there. Let's take a look at AJ Green's actual ratings comparatively. 80 to 75. Roberson is 80 to 81. So Roberson will start again. Either way, both guys are good players. But yeah, this team is looking good. And Hicks only regressed twice. 2 overalls anyways, so I like that. We got to change this up a little bit. Not much. It's looking pretty good already. And we're ready to go, huh? Try to get cheaper if we can, if there's any players we can release. But overall, this is mainly what the team is going to look like. Who are we going to... We have to resign some players. Charles Leno, man. We're going to have to make a decision at the trade deadline. 29-year-old Charles Leno. I don't know if we can actually afford the man. All right, here's the roster going into year 2 after the Super Bowl win, which I don't really know how you could top a Super Bowl win, but we'll see if we can maybe, win 2 out of the next 3, maybe even win all 3. We reloaded decently. We went down a little bit at strong safety, but overall it's going to be a win. Sterling, not a bad backup for Quinn, who might steal his job after the next season. Cornerback, nothing changed there, but that's not a bad thing. And then offensive, we added a new tight end, and we didn't get worse on the offensive line, so there you go. Hey, did Trey get an upgrade? Trey Roberson, my dude. Nice. All right, so Kyle Fuller, this should be, it is a cheaper deal, so let's go for a 2-year, what is this, $30 million deal? That's fair for us. Don't know how we have all this money. Actually, I do know how, because we have to re-sign everyone. Roquan, give him a 6-year deal, because he's obviously been great. He just hasn't gotten lucky enough to get a superstar. Akeem Hicks. That sounds like a tag if I were to ever say so. Anthony Miller, about 10 mil per year. That's very fair for him. 84 overall, good player. Okay, we'll add a little bit to that. James Daniels, Bilal, we can afford those 2 guys. Might have let Charles go, which is a bit of a loss because he actually does have value, but we'll see. Charles Leno, maybe he could be the guy that we tag. I don't know. Akeem, damn, I don't want to lose either, but one of them has to take the tag and one of them has to go. We can't afford to sign either of them. All right, if we win, I think we take the division. And we do win. There you go. The Packers at 10-5-1. Lions, Vikings. Everyone has a damn tie in this damn division. Yes, I said damn twice. I'm going to hell. Looking at the losses and wins. Loss to the Vikings. Loss to the Rams. Loss to the Niners. And we did take 1 loss to the Packers. But we finished strong. How was the Foles? We gave him a 3-year deal. In 3-year deal, well spent. Nick Foles, 4,500 yards, 42 touchdowns, 7 picks. David Montgomery, he's getting closer. I don't know if it's going to be enough for X Factor, but he's very close. Anthony Miller now might go to superstar. Allen Robinson with 11 touchdowns. Ayuk a little bit lower, but he's already a beast. And then Kyle Pitts, not bad. This was just a great season for everyone involved. Sack totals, Charles Leno, probably not a great year for him to give up 12, but whether he did or not, I don't even know if we can actually even afford either of them for a tag. So we'll see. Roberson maybe gets the superstar. Doubt it. Roquan maybe. Danny Trevathan maybe. Eddie Pinheiro. Lucky it's only a 2-year because that is bad. 50% kicking from 14 kicks. That's terrible. Nick Foles still can't win MVP. Number 5. How are there 4 better QBs than him with the seasons he's having? I don't even know. Khalil Mack, Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Kyle Pitts. Nice. That is a huge win. Breeze, number 2. Oh, no. Nick Foles, number 1 QB. I mean, are the rushing numbers really that good from the other guys? Number 2 and 3 for wide receiver. 2 Pro Bowlers. A lot of Pro Bowlers on this team this season. Not going to look at kicker because Eddie definitely did not do enough to make it to the Pro Bowl. And if he, or even on the list, let alone the Pro Bowl. And if he did, that's illegal and it should be an offense that is a high-quality fine. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Oh, wait, no, Kyle Pitts already is superstar. I forgot about that. Nice. So he has a chance to go to X Factor then, I suppose. All right, the team's going broke, but for this season, and this potentially season only, we're still looking all right. 88 overall, 83 for the Falcons. Can we go back-to-back? Can we go 3 in a row? Who freaking knows, man? Going to the end of the game, we see the Falcons with a very long and successful first drive. Falcons might be able to, slow roast us here. Maybe. Really would have been nice to get a touchdown before that half. 21-10, 21-18. Really good drive by the Falcons. We're down by 1 now. Offense, man, I can't believe how good Nick Foles and company are, especially in the clutch, and we pretty much guarantee ourselves points, and we do. Eddie Pinheiro, I mean, the game's still, oh, well, maybe not anymore. Eddie Pinheiro with a clutch long kick to quote-unquote ice the game. 8 points is hard to get. Not impossible, but usually whenever I see my team down by 8 and it's like one drive to either go to overtime or you lose, I don't feel great about it. It's just not a great feeling. Nick Foles threw a pick, but still really good performance as always. David Montgomery, man, he's really hit or miss. Kyle Pitts doing really well. Calvin Ridley did well for them. David Montgomery receiving was all right, though. Defensively, Bilal Nichols, Robert Quinn, Roquan Smith. A lot of sack numbers, which is nice. Trey Roberson developing into that number 1, number 2, number 1 corner, depending on when Kyle Fuller decides to call it. We did give him a 2-year deal, so hopefully he's at least decent for those next 2. Going to the championship game against the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, this is a tough one. We are a higher overall than them this time, so in theory that means we're going to do better, right? Right, here we go. Dallas scores 3 out the gate. We do respond with 7. Huge rushing touchdown. We can't give up those big rushing touchdowns. Huge drive for us. Slow burn for the touchdown. Then we get 3. Second half, we're up by 7. That goes away. This is a bit of a closer one than normal games for us. We haven't really played from behind often, and we only get 3. That is not good. That is probably game-losing bad, isn't it? And we did lose. It just feels weird. Like, this team felt like it was unstoppable. Like, it was invincible, but, of course, we couldn't get the job done. Nick Foles not at fault again. David Montgomery decent, but overall, rushing game still leaving some to be desired. Defensively now, DeMarcus Lawrence went off. Damn, their entire defense went off. Bobby Brown the third. Not bad. Pick totals. Of course, no one had picks. Eddie Pinheiro is good. I mean, he's at least done well in the postseason. But, yeah, that was not the performance we were looking for. But we did make it back to the championship round. That was the championship, right? God, it just feels so weird having a bye week. You're just so close to the Super Bowl out the gate. Texans versus, you always see this every once in a while. Or pretty much once a rebuild, it seems. Texans versus Cowboys, and the Texans win. Take a look at these dev-ups. Nick Foles go to X Factor. Oh my, this man is a freak. Pitts did not go to X Factor, which kind of sucks. Nick Foles with X Factor will not be regressing that much anymore, which is huge. So these are the ratings Nick Foles is pretty much going to be looking at for the next few seasons. Anthony Miller did go to Superstar. This is the greatest set of receivers I think we've had in a long time in rebuilds. I mean, we got Allen Robinson at 97 overall. We have Ayuk at probably like a 92. We do. And then we have freaking Anthony Miller at 86 with Superstar. We've got some talent. David Montgomery's probably like a 90 overall, exactly 90 overall. His speed went up quite a bit over this rebuild. I didn't get to see it. I'd say at least 2, right? Probably 2 overalls. Bobby Massey goes down a little bit in overall, but that's fine. Danny Trevathan, though, yikes. And we could release him. We might. I really wanted to get Monty Rice, and we didn't. Robert Quinn, unfortunately, would be a huge loss, even though I think he might play back up to Sterling coming up next season. Sucks Roberson didn't go up in dev. However, 85 overall, really good player. Akeem Hicks dropped in overall a little bit, but obviously he's still a very good player. If we can afford him, we might tag him. Although I will say a very high overall player like Leno might be a little bit more valuable for us. But once again, I don't know if we can get either of these players, so we'll see what we can do. Might, if we can, get rid of... Yeah, we can't afford any of these guys. Can you afford the tag automatically? Like, does it... I can't even afford to fail the tag. Yikes. Let's see what we can do. There's got to be something we can do. Danny Trevathan, 72 overall. Let's see. So losing Akeem Hicks would save us a decent bit of money. Charles Leno, losing him would be a decent bit of money. Honestly, we might just let them both go. I don't think we can afford them. Screw it. We're gonna let them go. So we're still negative $6 million, even though we just lost 2 key players. That's harsh. I think we're probably basically at normal. It's just the rookie reserve is taking a little off of us. What do we do? Eddie Goldman needs a contract coming up. Robert Quinn, that's a rough contract to have. What about Bobby? Can we get rid of him yet? We could. Yeah, we're going to get rid of him. I guess. That's a rough one, but it's going to save us about $4 million. And I think we have Greg Robinson still. Oh, we have to pay Roberson. Speaking of, someone that has a similar name. David Montgomery might have to let go because he's been good, but he hasn't been, outstandingly good. We're going to let Danny Trevathan go as well. We got to try to get this team back on track. Mack is a great player, but he is costing us a lot. Nick Foles is at least a QB, and he's really earned it for this rebuild. Eddie Goldman. Interesting. Yeah, we're broke as a joke. Can we get rid of Eddie Pinheiro? Probably not. No, it's not worth it. Yeah, I mean, that's about the best we're going to get. We got some really nice deals here. Pretty cheap ones as well. Bulaga and Kawan Short. Decent replacements. Obviously not nearly... well, Bulaga's not that bad, but not obviously... Damon not nearly as good as Akeem, but still not bad. We do have Neil Farrell Jr., so we might end up getting rid of Eddie Goldman coming up this season, just because I don't know if we can actually afford him, and he is going to be, 29 coming up, which isn't a bad age, but at start of element, you can't really last too much longer, maybe 2 more seasons, so it depends on what he's asking for and how many years, and I forgot to do the scouting thing. All right, so we have a couple of players at the end of the first/early second, so I'm assuming one of them will be there, and if not, I blame everyone else but myself. Let's take a look if any of those guys are there. And they are all there. We have a lineman, Mike McConnell. We have a guard, Matt Flanagan. And then we have a middle linebacker, Jalil Eubanks. Oh, I almost died. Eubanks, who I think is probably the best candidate out of all of them because we do have linemen later. So, Mr. Jalil Eubanks it is. 74 overall hidden. Okay, that's, I kind of expect him to be pretty decent. 91 excel, that's very good. 79 jumping, solid. 65 catch. Yeah, he's about as good as a first-round linebacker you're going to get, especially a late first. And then we move all the way to 30. Hopefully this doesn't cost us. Oh, it did. They're all gone. Every single one of them that we wanted is gone. But we can take this opportunity to trade this third and fourth for a bad second round next year. We trade our third, fourth, and fifth this year. Well, fourth round isn't ours. For 62 from the Browns next year, which is obviously very fair. Damn, they got a 70 overall tackle. Don't tell me that was the guy we had. We had a guy on the list. Our guy was in the 6th, though, so that'd be pretty harsh if he was gone. Speaking of that 6th rounder, if he's there, he's ours. He's gone? It wasn't actually him? How are players going? This must be a trash draft class. Really? Like, you look at all our scouted, they're so bad. Okay, that guy's actually pretty good. Late 6th. We'll draft these players, I suppose. Anyway, we moved on to the first pick in the 6th round, and we're just going to take best available from there. If anyone's even available. Don't tell me they're gone again. You've got to be joking. I'm just taking this fullback and I'm done. 74 overall, but he is normal. That's still a very good fullback, especially for 21. Damn, he is really good. What a scam, man. There's literally no one here. There's going to take a best available wide receiver, decently fast, at least 40 time wise. Roland Powers, 57 overall. Yeah. All right, taking a random corner, Jermichael Griffin. Yikes. So hopefully this linebacker is great because we did not have a great draft, but we did add an extra second round for next year. Start development. Okay, fair enough. And that's really all I care about. Everything else is we didn't take, so who cares? I get people saying, who cares about the other players? Okay, fine, dude. Stop yelling at me. Rashad Penny, not a bad little steal there. Might actually make a decision between who to sign. They might re-sign him instead of David, depending on the price. All right, here is the roster for the final season. Look at how good. I mean, this just looks good. This is the offense. Left tackle could be better, but it's, the offense is still getting better every season just because of the right guard position and left guard position. So it's not getting worse. Eubanks is the number 2 middle linebacker. Sterling's going to take over the job from Quinn. Quinn still stays because it would not make sense to release a guy that you're going to end up paying for. Might as well keep him as a backup. Team looks great. It just, we filled all the positions we needed to. Really, it's just about the money, and that's the problem. All right, here we are. Let's see how screwed we are. So Penny wants a 3-year, $14 million deal. We can apparently afford players. 5-year, $33. That's actually not that expensive. Eddie Goldman needs a contract. So first things first, Trey Roberson is number 1 on my list without a doubt. And we are locked in for 5 years with him. I don't know where the money keeps coming. How do we keep getting money? David Montgomery, he's worth that contract. 5-year 34 works for me. Well, 5-year 35 most likely. Eddie Goldman asking for almost the perfect contract, only a 2-year 22. That's fine. Let's give Pat O'Donnell a 1-year deal. Really? There we go. David Montgomery signed. Pat O'Donnell, 1-year $3.1 million deal, and I don't know if we can afford anyone else. Greg Stroman asking for a lot, considering there's a lot of really good safeties. Riley Ridley maybe get a chance to start on another team in free agency, and then Penny probably let go. Barely teetering. Headed to the playoffs, let's see, and we are in at 12-4 yet again. The rest of the division fell apart as you would expect. NFC North doesn't last long, boys and girls. The Packers maybe made the playoffs. I don't know. They had a decently strong, stretch there near the end. Nick Foles is kind of regressing a little bit here. So we do only have 1 year left on Nick Foles. Obviously, we don't really care too much. This has been a success, and we will most likely never come back to this. Receiving was down quite a bit, as we already seen. Cam Robinson didn't play super well, but the offensive line has been pretty much the same performance-wise for the majority of this. Pass rushing, outside of Mac, has really fallen apart. We had that one season with Quinn that was good, and that was basically it. Brady Breeze has been decent. Eddie Pinheiro, not a bad season. He had 1 blocked, and he only missed 4 anyways, so only missed 3 field goals on his own terms. Not bad. Okay, a little bit of an improvement there. Tannehill with the Titans as the MVP of the league. Cam Newton with the Colts apparently at number 4. Not going to look at that name there. Any award wins? Ooh, Mac missed out on his award. Eubanks, though, number 1 in the Rookie of the Year category for defense. Yeah, we lost a few of the awards this season, but we did all right for ourselves overall. And can we win it? Can we become a dynasty? Let's see. If Eubanks gets a dev up before Roquan, that's crazy. So we see here. I freaking accidentally simmed. Thankfully, we won. I almost just ruined the entire thing here. Yikes. Where was it? There it is. 28-10 over the Seahawks. Yikes, indeed. Nick Foles didn't even play that well either. That was scary stuff. Well, there's that for you. I mean, I'll take it because, it's still the same result we wanted, and I didn't have to watch. So there you go. I almost just did it again. What am I doing? Okay, the Cowboys, 90 overall to their 86 overall. Cowboys consistent at 86. They made it to the Super Bowl last time, lost to the Texans. Are they going to get another chance at it, or is it going to be our turn once again? NFC side a bit boring because mostly the same teams all the way across. Right, at home in Chicago. Looks like some decent weather. Why do I have a feeling that there was like a dome placed on here? Like, what the hell? It seems weird. I don't even know. That's just because it's dark. It does look like a dome even from here, doesn't it? So up 7-3. Oh, turnover on offense most likely. 10-7. Oh God, it's getting quite crazy here. 28-24 at half. Offense is looking good, but defense is kind of susceptible right now. Defense makes a stop. Only up by 8. Holding on barely. And another trip to the Super Bowl has been had. The first half was wild, and then the second half was just not. What a game. Both had 291 yards. Bit of a gunslinger battle. Both QBs threw 2+ picks. Rushing, David Montgomery, not bad at all. He did have a 52-yard run. I mean, I like seeing consistency that isn't based on a long run, but it's nice to also see him get a long run every once in a while. Zeke with 75-yarder. That's about half of his yards. Ruggs as a Cowboy. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I do remember that, actually. Kyle Pitts. Take a look at blocking. James. No one on our team gave up blocks. Gave up a sack. Nice. Bilal Nichols with 1.5. Mac with 1. Short with 0.5. Roquan and Farrell with 0.5 each. Picks. Roquan and Breeze with a pick. And then on their team, they had a couple of picks themselves. Kicking. Didn't really need Pinheiro, but he did hit every extra point. And we're headed to the bowl. How are we? This has been very successful. But can we cap it off with a non-disappointment? What? Also good to see if we have any dev-ups. I don't think, I don't think any offensive guys. Maybe a couple of defensive players. Offensively, I do not believe there to be a single dev-up. Of course, Pitts has been really good. Damn, really? No dev-ups on defense? I really would have thought Eubanks would have had one, maybe even Roquan. But it's fine, because here we are, in the bowl, the main goal, butthole. I don't know, I tried to keep the rhyme going, that was interesting. 91 overall to their 86. We have the overall. We have, we should have a good look. Cam Newton and his Colts, quite interesting. Very interesting as we see a 3-3 first quarter end. This isn't looking good. Okay, offense, good bounce back. 13-10. Ooh, this is interesting now. Second half, it is tied up at 13 all. We get a 3. They get 3. Uh-oh. Oh, my. Did we just do it? I'm not even going to slow sim. Just going to let it happen. Are you for real? What? What? Okay, keep going. We win 19-16. What an interesting one. The revenge has finally been had for the Bears over the Colts. It's been how many damn years? How many years was that? It had to be over a decade. Would this have been like the 15-year anniversary perhaps? I think so. I think 15-year anniversary of the Super Bowl. The comeback, the redemption, the revenge has been had. Cam Newton has another Super Bowl loss, but hey, getting there is quite a challenge, so congrats to them. And the player of the game goes to Khalil Mack with 3 sacks. This man is a Hall of Famer, along with some of the other guys on this team. Would this make Nick Foles a Hall of Famer? I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of quarterbacks with backup Super Bowl wins, but Foles led him to 2 Super Bowl titles, and he kind of did earn it a bit with the Eagles, and it's not like he only played like a few games. He did play a decent bit. Held it down just enough. I don't know. The yards aren't there. The stats aren't there, but he does have the wins. I wouldn't say he is, but maybe if he wins one more or two with this team. It's a really interesting story. I don't see this happening for the Bears in real life, but you never know. You never know. And, yeah, that's pretty much going to be the Bears rebuild. Let's see the stats and then how... Ooh, yikes. Nick Foles did not have a great Super Bowl, but that's fine. He's regressed properly this past season. Roquan with a couple sacks as well. Kicking, Eddie Pinheiro was perfect while they were not. We got a block. Who the hell blocked that? Who the hell is the legend? Oh, that's the safeties. Neil Farrell Jr. That was most likely the difference in winning a Super Bowl or not, right? I mean, unless it was a block in overtime, and even then, obviously, you don't want to lose a field goal because you probably would have lost the game situationally. Impressive. Impressive indeed. And that is going to be the Bears' realistic rebuild with Nick Foles as QB. Looks like a good decision, Chicago fans. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video, maybe leave a like. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Maybe check out the second channel, PK Plays. Been uploading Animal Crossing there lately. I really want to finish Borderlands, but the editing has just been a pain. It's not even a pain. It's just I don't want to do it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know why. There's just so many videos. I'm like, ugh. But it would save up some hard drive space as well. Enough of that. If you have any suggestions for what you want to see next, let me know in the comment section below. Of course, we said already for the draft, some of the rebuilds we're thinking of doing are the ones that are kind of surprising picks. Like if, the Bengals decide to go with, what's his name? God damn it, what's his damn name? Chase Young. Or if they decide to take like Tua Tagovailoa or something. Any of those moves, that's what we're going to be doing. Or if there's a crazy trade up, we'll do a rebuild for that. But yeah, hope you guys, like I said, enjoyed. Hope you come back for next video. But until next video, see ya!